So in this video, I will be showing you exactly how I scaled my agency past 10K per month using a very simple and very predictable system that you can recreate with ease. Well, who am I and why you should listen to me? Well, over the last 8 months, I've been able to go from a corporate job at TikTok as an advertising specialist, making less than 2K per month net that was taken home, to now having my own agency where I can take all of my expertise in marketing that I garnered all over the years and take them into this SMMA. And again, I just want to highlight something before we dig deeper into the video, because this is something that a lot of people get wrong. It is not as complicated as people think it is. When I first started, I thought it was going to be very, very hard. It has some difficulties, but the amount of knowledge is not really crazy, not something that you cannot learn in under 2 months. So I saw myself stuck, even though when you work with companies, even if they have prestigious names, you find yourself stuck in a hole and you're like, okay, you know that in a couple of years, all you're going to make is 1 or 2K extra from what you're doing right now. So this is why having your own business is very, very important, and it will allow you to break free from simply doing the same thing over and over again without having more money that you can make consistently. Now, as soon as I got out of that job, the first thing I did was I invested in a mentorship, and I truly believe that mentorships are very, very important because they really can save you so much time. Instead of figuring out things on your own, you can have somebody who's been in your shoes, who did the same mistakes, and they give you everything ready for you to digest and implement right away. Let me touch on a few mistakes that I personally did in the beginning because I was not listening to advice that was being given to me by people that have way more successful agencies than I did at the time. So one of the things that I constantly preach is having one acquisition channel. So whatever niche you go to, whether it's doctors, whether it's lawyers, whether it's contractors, what you need to understand is each one of these niches have one good acquisition channel. Unless you're like a multi-million-dollar company who has like multiple strategies. But for agencies that are doing below 100K per month, one acquisition channel is usually fine. When I first started, I was doing cold DMing, cold emailing, cold calling, everything on the planet, trying different acquisition channels. And that was not the way to go about it. Another mistake that I did was working with different niches. So I was working with restaurants, working with schools, working with contractors. And the problem with that system is that, yes, you can get multiple clients because there's more opportunity thrown at you, but the downside is that you cannot scale easily because every client has a different system, has a different product that you have to understand. It's not like you cannot simply copy paste, which is why I am to some extent a fan of niching down, having one niche but keeping it a little broad. So for example, the niche that I chose after making that mistake was contractors. So when I started working with contractors, this means I can work with roofers, landscapers, people who do home improvements, people who do, for example, fencing. It's a bit broad, but it's still within a specific niche, Another important mistake that I did, which right now I fixed, thankfully, is having systems. So you need to have clear SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. Every little thing that you do in your agency, you should outline in documents how to do A, B, C, how we're going to onboard the client, etc. If you would like help scaling your agency to over $10,000 per month using a very simple client acquisition system, using a very simple service delivery system, using 3 upsells, and a predictable system with coaching with me or my business partner, check the offer below. I don't want to bore you with the details, but essentially we have a guarantee. If you do not sign any clients within 90 days, we work for free, and it's something that is guaranteed in a contract. So I have a framework that I like to call the PNA framework, which is one product, one niche, and one acquisition channel. And this is for all agencies doing less than 100K per month. So if you are that agency, this is what I truly recommend because I cannot even explain to you how much time this will save you. So have one product, sell Google ads, Facebook ads, do websites, focus all of your time and energy on that. Choose one niche that you can deliver the service to, it's a profitable niche, and most importantly, a niche that is making money, and focus on getting clients from one acquisition channel. If you are starting out, when it comes to small businesses, I recommend that you go with the cold calling. Even though cold calling can be very hard in the beginning, the first week or couple of weeks, but it truly is wonderful. To give you realistic expectations, I managed to sign 2 clients within 1 month of cold calling, and I was only doing 1 hour of cold calling because I was busy juggling, between service delivery, between, operations and everything, which brings me to the next point, is that you really need to have systems in place. You cannot, as an owner, juggle everything at once. This is why you need to have systems, and you need to hire people overseas. Why do I say people overseas? Because from overseas, you can manage to pay people way less than what you would do in the US or the UK or from, a Western country. And again, just a good advice is that always try to pay them as much as you can. So switching from cold calling, that is the best thing that will immediately try and get you clients. And it's a very effective system. However, what I did, because I want to tell you the things that worked for me. After I signed the 2 clients, I invested some of that money and I started doing paid ads. And by far, paid ads is the best way to get clients if you know what you are doing. Why is that? Because you're getting people who are interested, people who come to you. So closing them is easy because when you cold call people, right, even though it is a very effective system and you can still sign clients, don't get me wrong. However, when I compare the two, paid ads is better because those are people that are coming to you, you know? And up until you reach 50K, 100K per month, it would be a good idea to focus on this acquisition channel, grow it, because if you run ads the right way, for example, in my agency, over the last 3 weeks in my agency, I managed to spend $742 and I managed to get 45 leads. And out of these 45 leads, I managed to close 6 clients. And those 6 clients are 8K in recurring revenue, which means that if you had to cold call every single day to get those clients, it will take you more than a month and a half. And it's going to be way harder. You need to follow up more frequently. So I'm telling you what worked for me. So start with cold calling, get some money, then immediately go into paid ads. When it comes to testimonials, it is very, very important. One of my highest paying clients, which is to me to this day, he told me that I will not work with you until you get me testimonials. So this is why when you get on a call, it is very, very important that you have testimonials, because when you tell people, hey, this is someone who was like you and here's the results I got for him, therefore I can get results for you as well. This is a very important thing that a lot of people don't even take it seriously, which is very, very important. And during my time, I was also fortunate enough to partner up with companies and agencies doing more than 60K to 80K per month, and they allowed me to leverage those testimonials. And which is why it's also important to have a mentorship. It's because you can always partner up with different people and use their testimonials for a small fee. And it's something that I do in my mentorship program that has clients doing over 60K per month consistently. When you give people testimonials and you can charge them based on value, because one of my clients right now, every single lead that we get him is almost worth $300,000 to $400,000. And we get that lead for $30 to $40. And so when you get him like 30 leads per month and every lead is worth $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, because this is a construction company that does like full home renovations, they will see the value. And when they see the value, they see how much money you can bring them, you can charge whatever you want. You can charge 4K, 5K, 10K, and they're gonna pay either way. And this is personally why I love contractors, because it's a niche that one job is worth thousands, one lead is worth thousands. So for me personally, it's the best niche that I found that works for me. But again, there are many amazing niches out there. So I don't want you to think, oh, contractors is the best niche. For me, that's what worked. For you, it could be something different. But either way, you need to have one acquisition channel. You need to figure out what works best for your niche, and one service. Like right now, I do AI lead generation with Facebook ads. That's the thing that I found works the best. So yeah, that's all for today's video. If you like the content, please give this a like and subscribe, because it's a new channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.